All right, my friends, so we are in Hershey, PA. And by the time you see this, we'll probably be back in Georgia. Hershey has been a tradition of ours, I mean, basically since Maddie, I guess when Chloe first popped, it was going back 16 years or so ago, maybe even longer, maybe even before Chloe. But going to Hershey, Chocolate World, we're at the Hershey Lodge right now, and it's freaking awesome. We love it. We haven't been back here for a few years, but we love it. You know, they got the Hershey Park, they got the Chocolate World, they got the Hershey Lodge, they got, just the hockey, the AA or the minor league hockey, AHL Hershey Bears, the longest running minor league hockey team in existence. It's freaking awesome. We love it. It just brings back a lot of memories, actually, because when, it's funny. I don't know how to phrase this. When we first came up here, we had no money. All right, so we, I'll never forget driving some crappy old Dodge Caravan, not even the Grand Caravan, but Dodge Caravan. It got the job done, but we're driving up here, and this is when we lived in Shenandoah Valley in Rockham County in Western Virginia. And driving up here, going through like Harper's Ferry through going through Leesburg, I think, and then going through West Virginia into Maryland. And in West Virginia, I think it was Charlestown, we had to pull over because Maddie had to throw up, and she threw up all over the car for being car sick. She's probably all 3 or 4 years old, and I can't remember if we went here or not before Chloe was born. I think we might have. After Chloe got out of the hospital, we might have come up here when she was just a baby. And but I'll just never forget, man. We had no money. It was just it was nerve-wracking because we had no money. You know what I'm saying? And you're sitting there thinking we're taking this vacation on borrowed money, hoping that we'll be able to pay it off some point. And and looking in hindsight, that's almost 20 years ago now. I'll never forget when I was at the First Union Bank, and we had just moved to Virginia from Phoenix, and it was before Chloe was born, and we're just poor, man. We're living some crappy rent that had freaking when it rained, you get parts of the house where the roof was just bad, and it was just a crappy place we're living in. The freaking heater hardly worked, the roof would leak, and it's just we had no money. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget. I was working in a bank as a personal banker, and I'll never forget these two people came in who are probably my age now. You know what I'm saying? So I was probably 30, 31, something like that. Probably 31, and we poor as the day is long, no money, and these people probably my age, maybe a little bit older, probably 55 or so, and they had about $400,000 put aside. Nicest people in the world, and I'll never forget. They had we're just talking, and we just got to chatting, and the guy said, "Yeah, I remember when we were in your shoes, man. Just wait, time. I would be shocked to know where I am today when I was back where I was." That's what the guy said. He goes, "Yeah, it's just time will work itself out, man. Just hang in there, you'll be fine." You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget. I forgot the guy's name, and I'm butchering what he told me, but it was very illuminating that don't expect it, your financial security to happen when you're young. It's not fair to expect that. You gotta go through starter homes. You gotta go through challenging times. And then you'll wake up, you're 49 years old, and when you want to buy good seats to the Hershey Bears, you buy good seats. You know what I'm saying? And when you want to, splurge a little bit, you splurge a little bit. And it's just this. I'll never forget that guy telling me that. And he didn't say that right there about splurging, but just says as you get older, all of a sudden you look up, you're like, oh, okay, we're doing okay. And that, doing okay is all relative. What is doing okay for me is certainly going to be doing okay for you different than doing okay for you. But for me, it's be able to spend money without having to worry about, is that going to take me away from my ability to pay the mortgage? And it's nothing more than that, without having to worry about going into debt. Now, when I say spend money, I don't mean freaking buying an RV with cash. I don't have that kind of scratch, but I know I can pay for this with cash money, this vacation, the tickets, you know, the freaking getting good seats to the game, you know, just buying a couple extra things that we normally would not have bought, and I can do it with cash money. And it's just, I'm telling you, you know, 16 years ago, we couldn't do that. I'll never forget, 16 years ago, we had to bring breakfast in. You know what I'm saying? We went to the grocery down here and bought the little Cheerios things and stuff like that because we couldn't afford it. We had breakfast with Santa. We couldn't afford the hockey game, which, you know, for me is like, I really wanted to go to hockey games. I love hockey, but we couldn't have enough money. Breakfast with Santa is what we did, and that was, you know, that cost like $200. Pay for that. And you know, we did whatever free stuff we could, and then we went to the Hershey Park, and, you know, but it was basically the once a year expenditure that we were going in debt in which to buy, which would pay off hopefully throughout the following year. And that was worth every penny, man. I'm telling you, it was worth every penny. And you know, I don't know how I want to say this, but I guess for the young men out there, younger men, you know what I'm saying, late 20s, 30s, you want it all now. You're not going to have it all now. You know, you see my man Grant Steven or whatever his name is, and he's rolling in it. I tell you, that's not going to be you. I mean, there's always going to be a guy who's successful, younger. That won't be you, man. It just won't. And so don't assume it's going to be you, and don't get down on yourself if it's not. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, look, I got no problem with Graham, nothing at all. Like his videos, subscribe to him, comment, and everything. But he's the exception to the rule. I'm probably the exception to the rule even right now. You know what I'm saying? But the rule is that you gotta earn your keep, and you do that by busting your butt, slaving away some crappy old job, but by staying with your woman. I can't. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you. If I, and I say staying with your woman as if it's your choice. Hell, man, it's a working relationship. You've got to be there for both you guys, and but for a man, you got to stay with your lady, man. If she's a mother of your kids, you got to stay with her. I mean, look, I'm not one to say if it's abusive, and look, women can be abusive too. Let's not pretend that. But I'm telling you, man, if you want to get out of poverty, the number one way to do that is stay married. Is all there is to it. Now, look, if you're freaking miserable, all right. But if you're miserable because you're bringing on yourself because you feel you're not doing a good enough job to provide for your family, that's on you, man. That's on you. And you got to freaking shake yourself out of that, because no one is feeling that way when they're 30. I wasn't. I felt like crap. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like sitting there thinking, man. And then you know, I don't know. It's just, you feel like crap. You're like, I'm not providing, but your woman stays with you because she believes in you, and she believes in you, and that is worth more than anything that's out there. And then, you know, she believes in you. She's investing in you. Not that you can provide for her, like to live some glamorous life, but you're going to be there as a father, as a husband. You're going to be there as a protector. You're going to be there to help right the ship, to help keep things on the straight and narrow for the kids and the family. You're gonna be there to defend your kids and your wife. It's so. This is historic. This isn't just some freaking made up stuff on patriarchy. It's stupid, these women who say that, and well, men too. It's not misogyny. Your wife needs you to be there, and that means there's gonna be some trying times. Hell, Charlotte, you had a fight the other day. There's always trying times. It's human nature. People are different. People are individually unique. You're never going to see things eye to eye at all times. At all times. Rex Wando. But you got to hang in there. And what happens, I fear a lot, is we have this expectation because of, you know, the internet and stuff like that. Look, I love the internet. It's a tool. It's like a firearm. It's like an annuity. It's a tool. In of itself, the internet / social media is neither good nor bad. It just is. It's the way people use it as good or bad. But I have a sneaky suspicion a lot of people see the internet and they're like Facebook and stuff, like, that's the way I should be, and it's not. And then they look at themselves and they say, oh, it's not me, it's her. You see what I'm saying? And I said, no, look at the mirror, brother. The mirror dictates very quickly that this is on you. And what I mean by that, it's on you for having these expectations, not from a lack of effort or a lack of not having good luck. It's just on you for these expectations that are, it's like, you know, they say about women's bodies and women's, you know, I don't know if this is true or not, but women say, I can't live like, I don't know, who is it, Christie, I don't even know who the models are anymore, Christie Brinkley, something like that. That shows you how old I am. I can't live like that. I can't be her. They can't expect me to. That's on you to think that people are expecting you to look like Christie Brinkley. Yeah, I know that's dated, but back when I was growing up, and Christie Brinkley still is freaking smoking hot. But she's not the average woman. She's just, I mean, it's kind of like Grant Stephen. How come I can't be like Grant Stephen? Well, because he's one of a kind. It's not going to be you. And there's a lot of that's luck, a lot of it's skill, but at the end of the day, luck will drive it. But you don't want that. I'm telling you, man, you don't want to be that successful this early in your life. You'll rue the day. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to Graham. I'm just saying, for me, if I was that successful as, I think Graham's like 26, 29, man, look, I'd be knee deep in a freaking 20 kegs of Guinness beer right now with no wife, no kids. It would not have been good for me. It would not have been good. So I know for a fact if that was me, it would have been my death. I know. That's a fact. And so in hindsight, I say, man, I'm glad I stuck to it. What I mean by that is I'm glad I didn't, at first I'm glad I did not drink alcohol. Second of all, I'm glad I didn't get hooked on any dope. Third of all, I'm glad I didn't get hooked on other kinds of internet, if you know what I'm saying, as a man, where you start thinking this is the way my relationship should be, and because it's not like that, because I'm dealing with real world people, I'm gonna wander, if you know what I'm saying. I'm glad none of that occurred to me, or I didn't get, none of that drove my life. I got lucky in that regard. A lot of men don't. I know for a fact. All the addictions that happen, none of that occurred to me because I had that to deal with when I was younger, and then when I went to AA and stuff like that, it helped me a lot. So I was able to get some of that behind. You never get everything behind you. I mean, that's the thing with an addiction person. When any kind of addiction you have, it's literally one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. I mean, you can't say, I'm no longer addicted, let me go. You can't do that. You just got to say, I have addictions. I need to deal with them today. And today I'm not going to fall for those addictions, be it drugs, alcohol, pornography, I don't know what else, working too much. I was listening to a guy the other day who's watching something on Notre Dame football. The guy worked, he never was at home. I mean, he's working all the time, head coach of Notre Dame football. He's addicted to the program. That's not good for your family. You can't have any kind of addictions like that take you away from your family. You've got to be there for them, man. You've got to be there for them. And if you're sitting there thinking, my wife doesn't look like Christie Brinkley, I don't have the income Grant Stephen has, my house isn't as big as this guy that I went to school with, who gives a crap, man? I'm telling you, you got to hang in there. The number one thing you can do for financial security later in life is stay married. And I tell you, I say that because a man has a wandering eye. I'm telling you right now. But remember, this isn't just you. Just because you say, I think I'll stay with my family. My wife is lucky. Look in the mirror. Would she want to stay with you? You see what I'm saying? You're thinking, would I want to stay with her? Yeah, she's lucky. No. The first question you ask is, would my wife want to stay with this person? That's the first thing you ask. Would your wife want to stay with that person? Would she marry you today if she had the opportunity? If the answer is no, because you let yourself go and you're mad all the time and you think it's because of her that you're in a bad place, you need to change your actions ASAP, man. You need to freaking straighten up, because she was looking at you. Women can get wandering eyes too. They don't want to. They don't want to get wandering eyes. The reason they get wandering eyes is because the men act like fools. And the men say, oh, yeah, I could do better than you. What do I run around here for? You need to look in the mirror. Would my wife want to marry me today, the way I'm acting, the way I'm looking, what I'm doing in my life? If the answer is no, I'm telling you better freaking straighten that crap up ASAP, man. I'm telling you, because you're going to wake up one day and your wife's gone. And she's lost any interest in you. And you're not going to get it back. I'll never forget, who was it? Was it my dad? My mom? I can't remember. Someone told me, I forgot who it was. They said the worst thing about breaking up isn't when your girlfriend cries because of how bad you're treating her, is when she doesn't care. I forgot, someone told me that. That's when it's over. When your girlfriend doesn't care. In this case, your wife, she doesn't care what. She's like, I have nothing. I have no feelings. I'm not angry. I'm not loving. There's nothing there for you anymore. You'll never get it back. And then when that happens, you're going to wake up, you're going to say, man, I need to get that back. It's too late. She's lost it. What she used to have in love, what she used to have, the opposite of love, is anger. Both of those are emotions that you can connect with. The minute those emotions go down, you'll never get it back. You can't let that time come. Which means you gotta straighten up the ship and stop being woe is me. Start being woe is me. What have I done with myself? I'll never forget, man, about 2006 or 7, 5, something like that. I tell you, I thought, I was just in the funk, man. I said, oh, this isn't, I mean, again, look, who knew? But I just remember I was in a funk. You're going to get in funks. And what you do is you pull yourself out of it. I just remember I was in funk. It just seemed like we weren't getting along. And it wasn't like we're even hostile. It's just like we just weren't seeing. It was weird for about a short period of time. We just weren't getting along. It was sad. I was like, we're not, something's gone. I don't know what it was. And it went away. And the reason it went away is something, I talked to this guy, I think it's my man Skip, actually. My man Skip Ritchie. He says, and I remember, was it him? No, it was another guy. Matt from West Virginia. That's what it was. Some freaking... I used to work with this guy, Matt from West Virginia. It was 2004. And he was a weird guy. He was an Army guy, but he was from West Virginia. Short guy. And, you know, he thought he had it. I mean, long story short, it's just, you know, you discount half the things he said. But I'll never forget chatting with him one time. I was driving. I had him on the phone, and we're just chatting. I said, man, this is, what, you ever had a case where you're just not feeling it? He goes, dude, I have it all, and I don't even think he was older than me. Maybe he was. He goes, I have it all the time. This is what happens when you're in a relationship. I'll never forget him. And he was a lover of Jesus. He goes, this is what happens all the time. Just deal with it. It's okay. It'll fall. I just remember, I'd never had this feeling before. I just felt we're in a funk for like a month. And I just remember calling him. So I don't have it. You know what? Nothing more was going than that. I was like, I don't know. It was weird. I said, I haven't felt this. He goes, dude, it happens all the time. It's the way relationships are. You have your ebbs and flows. I'll never forget Matt. This guy Matt, I don't even know his last name anymore. And like I said, I took half of the things he said with a grain of salt. I said, really? He goes, yeah, dude, it's okay. Ebbs and flows. I'll never forget, there's Matt who said that. I said, okay. And after that, I said, ever since then, you know, the ebbs and flows. And it never had that happen again. It was just like, it's okay. It's human relationships, man. And then I looked at myself, and I don't think he told me that, but I remember, maybe it was Andy Stanley is what I think I heard preaching from North Point Church here in Alpharetta. And I'm obviously not there right now, but, you know, I live in Alpharetta, that town. I said, are you the guy your wife would want to marry? And I'll never forget he said that at preaching. He said, look in the mirror. Would you want to marry you? And I said, man, what a great sermon. And I said, ooh, I'm not sure I would. And that's when I started saying, you know, be mature. Men, you mature. You get older, you get wiser. You really do. I'm just telling you, you got to hang in there. And then you can look back and be fond of the experiences you had going to Hershey, PA, or wherever the hell it is that you go. And say, you know, I'm glad I did that. It was tough, but I had faith. I stuck it out. My wife stuck out with me. We had the kids. They stuck out with us, and here we are, you know, 17, 18, 20 years later, enjoying the fruits of our labor a little bit more than we ever thought we could. It's a wonderful place to be. And it's just hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. Stick it out. Stick it out. Again, if it's abusive where you're being violated physically or mentally, and I hate to even say mentally because that's subjective, but, you know, don't hang in there if you're freaking literally, if it's abusive, and I don't know how you judge that, but don't hang in there then. But other than that, it ebbs and flows. And then you look back and say, remember all those times we had when we were freaking poor as dirt? And now look, we're not poor as dirt. It feels great. It feels great. All right, we'll see you. Blessings.